We got the video here.
I'd like to call to order the Parks Board meeting for July 22nd, 2024. Sure don't seem like it ought to be that. Let's have a prayer. Dear Heavenly Father, thank you for this day that you've given us. Lord, thank you for this rain that you've brought, and some of us are looking for it, some of us are not, but you know the plan, and you take care of that. Be with us as we go through this meeting and choose our words right, and just help us to do the things that you'd like for us to do. Thank you for your son, and amen. And pledge of allegiance, Mr. Bennett, would you do that?
Yeah, we're honored. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, sir. All right, I will have a motion to accept the agenda as it's written. Mr. Mendoza first, Mr. Pike second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Good job. I need a motion to approve the minutes. Ms. Hellman with number 1 and Mr. Golden number 2. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Let's see. Mr. Bruce, do we have any public comments?
None tonight, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, my friend. Let's see. The annual financial report, disciplinary reports update. Would that be you, Mr. Gilly, or is that just for our information?
I think it's for our consumption.
No, that is actually Tennessee United's annual report that they do.
Yeah.
So they're here if you'd like to hear from them at all, but it'd be great.
And they're always welcome to talk. Yes, ma'am. State your name, please. Push the little red button. If you,
Yeah.
There you go.
Right in the bottom of the machine.
This one?
There you go.
Ah, there you
It
go.
has pull rope.
Robin Maudsley, President of the Board of Directors for Tennessee
ma'am.
United.
Thank you.
I don't have anything specific to report unless you have questions.
I'll give someone a moment to look it over and
Can you give an update on how your tournament went this spring, like numbers of teams and
Yeah.
how you, I think that's important for everybody to know what y'all bring to the community with that event.
Yeah, absolutely. This was one of our biggest tournaments. There were close to 250 teams. We pretty much maxed out. The teams coming now from Ohio, Kentucky, Illinois, Indiana, as well as, I mean, we've always had teams from like Alabama and Georgia. So now we're starting to get teams from coming up north. So very, very successful. I think this was our most profitable tournament that we have ever had. Good weather helped a lot.
The other thing would be good to give an update on is how you all have been able to utilize the turf field this summer.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's been our camps that we've held. There has been, well, during the tournament, the Tennessee United tournament, that was the groundbreaking for the opening of the field. So we had a ceremony there with the mayor. So the very first game that was played during the tournament, Tennessee United team won, so yay. So we've definitely been able to use that. We are part of the NPL, which is a high-level league that our boys play in, and we were able to host games and play on the turf where normally we have had to go down to Murfreesboro or into Nashville to utilize turf fields there. So we are now able to use those fields here. In the spring, we also had practices that were canceled because of rain on the other fields at Drake's Creek, but we were able to hold practices for teams on that turf field. So it's been phenomenal.
Okay. Any more questions? Well, I believe you're done. Go on to the house and eat something.
Thank you.
Thank you.
There is a slash there for disciplinary report update. Would you like to address that, sir? Or is that for our information?
That is for your information. It's at the bottom of page 6. That's
Gotcha,
their,
my friend.
quarterly report.
Gotcha. Okay. New items. Yoga in the park. Shannon, oh boy, am I going to butcher this. Capiello. She looks very much like an agenda.
Looks like she is not with us.
You mean tonight, not overall?
Right, I hope not. I hope not overall.
Maybe with spirit.
That's kind of frightening.
Sounds like the movie Airplane up here all of a sudden.
Oh, boy. All right, under B, Christmas for the Children's Softball Tournament, Bubba Baker.
Bubba and Shannon are 0 for 2 the last 2 months. We will not put them on the next agenda unless they call us.
Okay. Pirate 5K, 10K race, Monica Gayar. Don't go 3 for 3.
No, for 3.
I'm Stephanie. Monica is not,
doesn't look like Monica,
she's on
but,
vacation right now. I'm filling in for her today for U.S. Road Running on Zoom.
What was that?
She's talking right now.
Can you speak up a little bit for the old guys like me?
Sorry, I didn't know if it was loud enough or not. Can you hear me?
Just barely.
With your loudest of voices, state your business, ma'am.
Yes, sir. I am with U.S. Road Running. We are looking at using Memorial Park to host monthly 5K, 10K races. It would be one Saturday a month. It looks like we have them scheduled for, we will try to do the first Saturday of every month. We would start at 8:30, and we would be done by 11:30, 12.
Okay. Any questions? Did everybody hear her all right, other than me not? But go ahead.
I guess this would be for the staff. Does this does this coincide with any other races or anything we've got going on? Keith or anybody?
No, and the map, the route they're going to be using is actually more Memorial Park and using the greenway over there. So yeah, for our extent, no, this is the first time we've had somebody inquire to do a race over in that space. So,
what's the actual, I guess, the race course? Where will it actually go?
yeah, I guess if you cross the little bridge over to the island, down the island, back behind, I guess, back behind where the old fields used to be. That was my understanding from talking to Monica.
Where will check-in and all that occur?
Check-in would occur just a couple feet from our starting line. We have our starting line. I'm not from the area. I'm from Kentucky, so I'm going to do my best to make sense of the map for you. So if you've seen our map, our starting line is the little green dot. It's off the Hendersonville Greenway, right past the Hendersonville Peace Garden, before the dog park. And we just have a 4-foot table with a 10x10 canopy that we'll put off on the side in the grass to set up for a check-in.
I don't see a map, but that's okay. You're planning on a 10K in that area as well? Or are you just going to continuously do the laps, or
Yes, so our course is 0.78, so we'll have a half a mile course if we decide to do a mile, but the 5K and the 10K will be at a 0.78 course, and so they will just do the laps. Off the top of my head, I believe for the 5K, it is 4 laps. But yes, that's as far as we go out, is just 0.78 miles.
Okay.
Wade, I see that this is a for-profit. Have they designated who they're gonna give back to or anything? I don't see that on here.
No, I think that we can make a decision or make a suggestion tonight. Considering they're not actually based here, I think we have the right to the board can make a suggestion to who we think it should go to. In this case, it would be a per racer fee. You know, I get the final roster of everybody that raced. It's $5 per runner. They're not really taking up a shelter or they're not closing down anything. So it would fall under the small events category. So there'd be a fee for that plus the per runner fee.
Does the Park Board staff have a recommendation on where that money should go? Where is it needed?
Okay, any more questions?
It's needed everywhere. Stephanie,
Yes, sir.
hey, this is Andy Gilliam, Parks Director. I have a few questions. You got in attendance 15 to 100 people? Are you all like a series of races that people go in different cities and you have kind of a regular following, or are you trying to get people from our community to sign up?
Kind of both. We have over 60 to 70, I can't remember off the top of my head, races nationwide right now. We currently just started having our Kentucky races in July, and that's where I'm from. And I've noticed with our Kentucky races, the past 3 that we've had a few of the same people travel to each race. And I know in our Florida races, we have people that travel, and when they go on vacation, they look for our races when they're doing races. So it's kind of a little bit of both. We want to get people in from the community, but also for the runners that we already have.
And I see right here you have director has a basic first aid kit on site. They and any other participant will call 911 an emergency. And y'all, Wade or whoever, correct me if I'm wrong, but typically when we have 5Ks and 10Ks, they work with the either the fire department to make sure we have a UTV there, or the county ambulance service to make sure that we have medical people on site. Particularly in this section of the park where you go way back in the greenway and make the loop back around to the island, we need to make sure that someone has access to get back there in case of a medical situation. That would be because a fire engine or ambulance is not going back there in the back of this park.
Right.
So that is extremely important. That would be something that would be your expense probably, because right now we can't guarantee that our fire department UTV is going to be in the park ever with their staffing issues that they're having. The other thing is on here, like Mr. Golden or someone just asked, you all are definitely a for-profit company, which is great. We have people for-profit events in the park all the time. Are you all used to, when you go in other places, making a charitable donation on top of your regular just event fees?
Yes, we have a woman, Michelle Campbell, and she handles all of that for us. For each race is a kind of a little different. For some of them we do, and for some of them we don't. It kind of just depends on the race and the community that we're in for each race. But yes, she handles all that for us.
Gotcha.
Are your requests just for the first Saturdays of the month for 24? Or are you looking to continue doing this all throughout next year too? January, February, March, April?
We would just start with 2024. Monica, who Wade has used to talking to, I think starting in November, she would start reaching out to parks who our races are successful with in their area to continue on in 2025.
Okay.
Okay.
You know, I don't mind maybe one race, but to just tie up 4 different weekends, and kind of, you guys are unknown to us in this park. Just think it's something we need to discuss, tying up the 4 Saturdays before anything.
If you're asking the staff opinion, I personally might, Stephanie, let me ask you a question. You can say, this is a loaded question. Would it be the end of the world if we spent the next couple of weeks working with you all to kind of shore up this application and brought back a map and address some of the medical questions we talked about? And maybe for 2024, you guys came back and said, okay, we'll try October, November, December. I mean, or even September 7th. That just doesn't leave you a lot of time to advertise. I think we all up here. I don't have a vote, but I think everybody up here would like this type of event, particularly in the fact that you have it all in one park and don't go out on the road, which a lot of our road races really tie up traffic and police and fire stuff. Would it be the absolute end of the world if we brought you guys back at the end of August and got this buttoned up and tied up?
No, that is perfectly fine. Yeah, that.
I don't want to sound like we're unfriendly to your request.
For us.
I don't want to sound like we're being unfriendly, but I can sense that there's several hesitations and questions, and we don't ever really want that. I don't want a vote of yes to be with hesitation for you guys. I want to be able to tie it all up and be welcome. Wade, does that sound okay to you? I mean, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, this is a growing business.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, this is not the first group that we've had reach out. Stephanie, just full transparency, we've had Bodies. They're one of the groups in here. I don't see this type of like plug and play companies going anywhere. I will say too that if we're only expecting 15 to 100 people, I'm talking logistically. You know, if they're only charging $30 a person, there's 15 people. Then, you know, that's what, $450 they're planning on making, and we're going to charge them $250 plus $5 per person. Like at the end of the day, and then they got to pay for a ambulance or pay for extra stuff. That's not realistic for these businesses to sustain. If we're talking about 1,000 people racing, I think it is. But when we're talking about something that's less than 200 people, we don't require that for a school to come do a 5K or do something in the park. They might say they have that, but we don't sit there and make sure they bring that stuff. So I have no problem with looking at it, moving it to the next month, but I would just be hesitant that when we set these restrictions or when we set these guidelines for something like this, a company like this, we're going to have to do it across the board. And we went with this when we had the hockey tournaments, remember? And we finally came to the conclusion that we could not require them to have an ambulance on site the whole weekend for 3 straight days. In this case, having an ambulance or anything like that on site for 3-4 hours on a Saturday when we're having to pay overtime, these companies are just going to leave and go somewhere else. So I'm not trying to fit it in. I just think I'm talking about the business side. We have to think about that too, because when these businesses come to us, we need to make sure we're making a financially smart decision for them as well and suggestion. So that would be my suggestion if we look forward to next month.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And sorry, Stephanie, we're kind of having a little of a conversation that doesn't really.
No, you're
We're
fine.
bigger than you. But I mean, I think our responsibility as a board is not the you know, whether a company that partners with us makes money. Clearly, I think we all want people that partner with our parks to be successful as a whole. Right. Our responsibility, though, is to be stewards of this land and this organization you know, that we oversee. And so if a for-profit company is using public parks to make money, I think we've been pretty consistent that they They need to do it safely, and they need to be able to contribute back to the whole. And I think that's what we're saying. We did not, as a board, decide to only, whatever they're charging, like that's on the company to do. But to operate safely, I think we have been pretty consistent with it. Your point's well taken, though. But I don't want us to be have the emphasis on the wrong syllable. It's the companies first. It's the parks for us. So
I'm going to kind of echo what Mr. Gilly said. We, as a board, Stephanie, we're not here to deny people anything. As a matter of fact, we're over doing that, but we want to do what's best. Number one for you, and get it right the first time, and do it right the first time. Not only for your organization, but for the parks and the parks board and the public. So, in my opinion, just my opinion, it looks to me like you got a little more work to do on this, and if it would be okay for you to come back toward the end of August, I believe that'd probably be a pretty good idea.
Yes, sir, we can do that.
Boy, call me sir, I like that. All right, then we will see you next board meeting, and look forward to talking to you.
All right, thank you so much, I appreciate it.
Indeed, thank you, and look forward to working with you.
Thank you.
All right. Middle Tennessee Food Truck Festival alcohol sales map, Jacob Kearney.
Mr. Chairman, Jacob, as you will recall, was here, I don't know if it was last month or month before, to have this event approved. He is since, have you been to the beer board yet or not?
I have not, no.
You have not.
That's
You're going,
scheduled for next week.
The beer board meeting in July was canceled, because it fell on the July 4th holiday, so therefore he's here tonight, and we'll go to, I believe they're going to the beer board the first week of August.
Yes, sir.
Is that correct?
Yeah. And I would assume that a motion, if it is made, would need to contain verbiage toward that, would it not?
Yes, sir, I believe so.
Thank you. Questions? Do I have a motion to approve? I'll give you a minute.
I do have a question for you real quick. So I see where the entrance is on there. The other exits all around, is it going to be a fenced-in area for this map?
Yes, it would be fenced in.
Okay, the fenced in, okay. Just want to make sure so I'm guessing at the entrance is going to be the exit as well?
Yes,
correct?
sir, just one entrance, one exit.
Okay, and we're going to have people there that are going to be monitoring people coming in and out of there, getting alcohol and all that, is that correct?
Yes, the way that, the discussion I had with Wade was that we would have 2 Hendersonville police officers on site, and then additionally, potentially some more security alongside that with the beer approval.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's correct. You'll need 2 officers roaming the site, and you can have 2 security people at the gate by the ordinance.
Okay. Yeah, that's more than okay with me.
Mr. Golden?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we approve, but pending beer board approval.
Okay, and that caveat being that they go before the beer board, right? Okay, and Mr. Perry, second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
He also got a title sponsor, a lot of sponsors actually, but he got like a legit title sponsor for his event, first year. So, and how many trucks applied?
We had over 90 trucks apply this year. The $1,000 prize that we put out for the grant to further their business was really a big thing in the community. I'm in a group chat with 200 of Nashville's top food trucks, and everybody's asking, just even when they applied, like 3 days later, people were like, hey, am I approved? I want to be here. I want to come to this event. So it's been amazing.
Remind me when the event is?
August 17th.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
NFL flag football, Mr. Representative. Odd name.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Ryan Clare. I'm the flag football director for Hendersonville Civitan. And we are seeking approval to have an NFL flag tournament The Titans have reached out to us and asked us to sponsor it. Each NFL team does their own tournament, and it all filters down to a national championship. The last 2 seasons, it's been in Franklin, but the Titans have reached out to us and asked us if we could host it. Basically looking at between 60 to 75 teams. Then they'll come from all over. The dates would be, it's a 1-day tournament, basically 6 a.m. until it stops. That would be October 19th. That's the basic information I have. If there's questions, I can answer them.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
How long have we been trying to get this tournament here?
Years. Since this is the 3rd year the Titans have had this tournament, and they've basically called me every year. They don't want to be in Franklin. They want to be here.
Thank you. Would you say that adding lights to the rugby fields has helped our ability to get it here?
Oh, yes, sir.
You're not on trial, I'm just.
Oh, I know. Yes, sir.
Yes. Thank you.
I'd just like to make a motion, we approve it.
I got a couple questions.
Oh, sorry.
Just to confirm, you're winning this at the rugby park, correct?
Yeah, the Titans had said between 8 and 12 fields. I believe at rugby we can fit 8.
You can do 8.
The tournament this past July that the Titans hosted, the seasons have changed. It used to be the start of the season was January, and then July. You know, the start of the season was like November, and it went through, and the championships were in July, which just happened this past weekend. So the Titans were the last tournament on the tour, but now they want to be closer to the front, and the seasons have changed. So the new season is starting basically this month, so we'll be one of the first tournaments. In that tournament, the last one in Franklin, they only had 8 fields, and it was, so I think if 8 fields is the max we can do at rugby, we can try to make that work. Worst case scenario, and we don't want to be in 2 places, is if it was signups to grow so much, I would probably have to come to you, Dallas, and be like, hey, can we have 3 fields of VPA around the corner, which isn't ideal. The NFL would like everything to be in one place because of all the tents and all the stuff and all the NFL players and the autographs and, that kind of thing. But worst case scenario, if we had to have overflow fields and if VPA was available, that would work.
Okay. We can block both parks off just in case. The other thing, when talking with Jimmy Michelle, when this was sent through, there was talks about you all providing a donation back to the Sumner Rugby Club.
Yes, the executive board of Civitan would have to discuss that, yes.
Okay.
I do know that, as Civitan right now, we split the cost of maintenance on rugby 50-50 already. So I don't know. I can't make that decision for Civitan.
Okay.
But I do know that email chain is there and it will be discussed, yes.
Okay.
Questions?
Who has a question?
I do.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I just noticed on the application that it shows Drakes Creek soccer fields, but you're going to have it at the rugby park, is that
I
correct?
believe that's our only option.
The rugby park is the only option?
I believe so, yeah.
That's
Okay.
correct.
All right. Just want to make sure that's correct on the application in there. So I think it's going to be great, and good job.
Thank you.
I have a motion from Mr. Perry. I have a second from Mr. Pike. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, sir.
Thank y'all.
Mr. Representative. Okay. Under Dinkville Pickleball, Landon Hellman. Before we do that, I wanted everybody on the board, plus everybody listening, that Mr. Gilly will be available for autographs after he was on TV. He smiled the whole time. It took him nearly 30 minutes to get the smile off his head. So we sure appreciate anytime. No, kidding aside, anytime we can get publicity like that, I think it's a good idea.
They actually called and asked if the Parks Board chairman could come with me, and
yeah,
told him you were not available. Told him you were not available at this time. We have 2. If you don't mind, I'll kind of
Go ahead.
laid a foundation here. We have two back-to-back items here that involve pickleball, and we still don't have our courts built, but these programs are ready to start as soon as our courts are open. So any dates on here may be considered tentative at this time. Both of these groups have come in and met with us on their own, and it's helpful to us, I think, to have people who are experienced in a sport that we're not experienced in yet to kind of run some things for the community that'll help us. You know, we don't have a pickleball coordinator on our staff quite yet. May get to that point one day, but I just wanted to kind of get that out there. And Landon has been patient. He's been after us for a year or more to get courts built. If you know anything about Dinkville, you see them all over the place doing events, and they do give a lot back to the community as well, and I appreciate that. So take it away, buddy.
Yeah, thanks.
Before you start, I'm sure there's a name in Dinkville, is there not? I think that's probably a name behind that, right?
I'm sorry? Yeah.
There's a story behind that, is there?
No, I mean, pickleball's got some cool names that kind of go with it. But yeah, Dink and then Ville, because like we're basically a pickleball community. So pickleball, I'm sure you guys have seen, it's a big community sport. You know, like if you don't know anyone at the courts, you can show up with your paddle or not even with the paddle and jump in and play with people. So a lot of sports, like you don't see that in, you know, tennis or, you know, baseball or anything like that. You know, this is, you can just show up as you are and just really just start mixing in with people and start playing. So I think that's why everyone's really, you know, growing towards the game. It's a game for everyone, men, women, old, young, big, small. It doesn't matter if you learn how to play. It comes pretty easy, and then everyone enjoys it. So the momentum's not really slowing down. It's been like the fastest growing sport for the last 5 years, and just continue to go that way, because I think a lot of people are seeing the big community that comes out of it. I mean, a lot of my great friends from pickleball. I didn't know anyone in Nashville, started playing pickleball, and now I feel like I got thousands of friends. So kind of getting you guys up to speed on pickleball. Around the city, some cities are starting to build pickleball courts. There's 4 courts in Mundy Park and Mount Juliet. There's P Park down the street. They have 3 dedicated pickleball courts and then 4 temporary and tennis courts. So with your guys' plan to build 6 dedicated pickleball courts, that's the most dedicated pickleball courts in Nashville. So props to you guys getting that done, and it will get a lot of attention. It will get a lot of use. So with pickleball, it's kind of a free-for-all. There's a lot of chaos out there, beginners, advanced players. People don't want to get off the courts. You know, there's not really much structure there. So any way I can help to kind of provide the best experience to everyone, that's what I'm all about. So what Dinkville is, you know, we do free beginners clinics, because pickleball is a new sport to a lot of people. A lot of people don't know how to play, don't know how to keep score, stuff like that. So one of my main goals is all those people that are interested, that want to play, get out there and play. We like to do free beginners clinics. We do them in Gallatin, we do them in P Park, Nashville, just wherever we can get courts. We just try to, you know, we get 60, 80 people out there pretty much every time, teaching them how to play. They get connected, they realize it's a fun game, and then they're hooked from there. So we kind of get that, kind of get the community going, trying to connect people to play. Then we throw some tournaments in there, some leagues, pretty much provide what the people are looking for. So what I would ask from you guys is, whatever you guys are kind of looking for your courts, whatever kind of questions or signage. I think signage is good. Like if you want to have like beginners courts, intermediate courts, advanced courts, or, you know, certain time frames for beginners clinics or anything like that. I think anytime you can provide structure to the courts. If you want to reserve courts, I know Franklin has that reserve option. If people want to book a court for an hour, it's $10. So you don't have to kind of battle with courts. If they're not booked, you can just go play. So there's a lot of options out there. So I would just love to kind of be transparent with you guys and try to make the best experience for everyone in Hendersonville, because I live in Sumner County, and there's a lot of families and people that want to play. And like I said, I think it won't be too long where you guys are probably going to think about adding 6 more courts on the other side of those courts, because it's going to be the hot spot right there by Mary's Playground. So.
What kind of advertising do you do for this?
For pickleball or like Dinkville?
Well, for this particular thing.
Yeah, so for like clinics and stuff, I got 6,000 people in Dinkville, so I got a newsletter I send out every, twice a week or so, basically any clinic. So
we're doing a clinic this Wednesday, and I posted it on our app or whatever on Thursday, and it was booked in an hour. 50 people just signed up, just bam. So what that says me, there's a lot of people that want to learn pickleball, but I can't. There's only 4 courts. We're doing it at Lipscomb University. You know, there's only 4 courts, so I can't take on more people. So like, if I can have Hendersonville's courts, you know, like on a Tuesday, do a beginner's clinic. You know, you have 6 courts, that's 36 people. We can get out there. You know, you do 2 sessions, you can get 100 people or so. So I think just finding more options where we can get more people to play. But yeah, we have a pretty good following, and then Facebook's always a good one. You know, we just have a lot of good groups that play pickleball, and we're trying to get the word out to wherever people can and see it.
Well, I still have people asking me what pickleball is, so I'd like.
Well, that's why the
I'd
clinics.
love to have people let it watch it. Yeah.
Well, yeah, then there's a lot of people like that. They see pickleball, they see people playing, but they, you know, it's kind of complicated at first, you know, keeping score and, you know, the doubles, like learning how to play and stuff like that. So that's my goal, is kind of help get people started and learning, like, it's not that hard, and once you kind of get started, then they can go out and play on their own and meet other people. So that's kind of the goal. So yeah, that's what I would kind of, so basically what I'm asking for is, you know, if I can get the courts maybe one day a week, you know, maybe for a couple hours, just to see the demand, you know, for beginners clinics, free beginners clinics, just get, you know, see what the demand is. If it's filling up, continue it on, but if it's kind of dying off, then we can, you know, go a different direction. But I think, because anytime I'm trying to do clinics, I don't reserve the courts. I'm just hoping there's not people playing tennis or pickleball where we can get these 40 people on there and, you know, teach them how to play pickleball. So if we can get a dedicated time once a week, I think that would be nice, where, you know, from 6 to 10, we can do 3 sessions of beginners clinics, teach 150 people, and then look for next week and do it again. So, and then sprinkle in tournaments every couple months at the location, I think would be great. Bring people from Bowling Green, from Franklin's, from the Murfreesboros, kind of bring people all around to the facility, because I think it would be the spot to be in Nashville.
Mr. Wade, are there any scheduling problems on that you can see?
He is, in your application packet here, you got Tuesday, Thursday, 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock. Is that what you?
Yeah, I would think.
That's what's in your thing.
Yeah.
You said one night, and you've asked for 2, and if they're in the mindset to give you 2, I'm fine with it. I just want to make sure everybody's.
Yeah, we can get 2. That'd be awesome. I think it would be a huge demand. And then, like I said, if it's one night's beginners clinics, another night could be like a ladder play or structure play, where you can add more structure to the courts, I think would be great. And then working with Jen and Joey too on what they got, if we want to throw a league in there too. So yeah, if we can get 2 nights, that'd be awesome. And like I said, there's no structure out there on any of the other pickleball courts, so I think if we can get 2 and provide structure and organization, I think that's what kind of the people are looking for, and we can provide a lot of luxury to the courts.
So just to be clear, his proposal here for his program is 2 nights, Tuesday and Thursday, 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock, for free clinics for the community.
Yep.
If it becomes more than that or changes from that, we'll have to add to and come back up here and get something else approved.
Sure.
We talked to Landon during Pig Fest. We're going to have a pickleball tournament as part of that event, kind of like we had a cornhole tournament last year. If he decides he wants to do other tournaments outside of that, he'd come up here for approval.
Yep. Yeah, and we're going to give back 20% of the proceeds to the charities for that Pig Fest too. So we've already, I kind of started Dinkville 2 years ago and really started picking up steam last year. But I mean, we've given over $30,000 to charities all around Nashville, from Make-A-Wish to Nashville Humane Association, stuff like that. So I'm all about growing the community and giving back to the community, because that's what pickleball is all about. We get a lot of people from different neighborhoods, different backgrounds. So anytime we can help out, I'm always about it. So yeah, it should be pretty fun. We did a big tournament at P Park in Goodlettsville a couple months ago. We had 250 players, and then they bring their families and stuff. So, I mean, it totals out to like 300, 500 people out there playing, from all different skill levels, all different ages. So, yeah, it's a pretty good attraction that pickleball comes with.
Okay, questions?
As far as the current idea of what the usage on these courts is, is there plans for regular leagues? How does, I mean, because, it's 5 hours, 2 times a week.
So
Is that extensive? Is that a lot to sort of hold up? I mean.
So right now, we have run on our own league 1 day a week for the past 2 seasons. We may or may not continue to do that. These will be free clinics. You're about to hear a proposal that is more of a league structure, in your next item on your agenda. And next month, we will bring to you all kind of, for you to approve, kind of similar, what he touched on in terms of guidelines, regulations. We may even go ahead and bring reservation approval to you all for these courts. We probably this first season will run our own league again, and see how that goes. But we may have more people like these folks coming to ask to do leagues where we may not even have to do our own league. But I do think there is, like in our other sports, we've got Civitan baseball, but there is also value in the Parks Department running a summer and fall league also in a more recreation setting. You go to tennis, similar setup to tennis. We've got leagues that Brandon Jones runs, but then the USTA and NALTA and other people come in there and run leagues all the time. Does that answer your question?
It does.
Best of my ability right now. We're dealing with an animal that is about to be uncaged probably. Yeah. And I can get a sense of what's going on. I could see right now that place is going to be packed. Yeah. And we'll probably be coming asking to build 6 more maybe. I don't know that, but
the question I have is when is it necessary, and when is it necessary to then go a use agreement path the way we've done with Civitan and rugby and other things where there's certain things they have to do.
He will sign the facility use agreement. This application that's in your packet is from the facility use agreement section. So he'll have to sign that just like Civitan or Hendersonville Soccer Club. Now, in this case, there are no fees that he's charging. Mm-hmm. So I don't know how you can expect somebody to pay a fee for something where he's not charging anybody anything. If he starts to have leagues and make money and do tournaments and things, then yes, you'll probably have to charge a fee.
And forgive me, but usually these use agreements are they're not necessarily exclusive per se, but they do require open finances, and they require certain trainings and other types of things. There's things that are involved in signing that use agreement. Am I correct?
You are correct.
Okay.
But he will not be exclusive because he's only asked for 2 nights.
Free league, I don't care if 50 people went and watched it, it'd be worth it. So
he's already provided us his insurance covering the city of Henderson, so he's got that covered. And then instructors, one of them sitting here going to be the next item on your agenda. They have different levels of certifications where they can be instructors. I don't know if you want to cover that or not, but
yeah, we have like captains, and Joe and Jen help out all the time for some of our clinics. But yeah, we have 40 or 50 quality people all around different communities that are instructors that got certified, that basically provide everything you need to know about pickleball to get people started the right way. And best of all, they're all great people. They're people I value highly, good solid values, love their community, love people. So they're all well-rounded, hand-selected people that I like to help out. And next Monday or August the 5th, we're teaching 120 teachers or something like that in Hendersonville at Beach High School. They're going to start teaching that in their PE classes. So from like kindergarten all the way through high school, we're going to have all these teachers there. We're going to teach them for free. Taping down lines in the gym, bringing nets, bringing equipment. So, but I can't do that by myself. It's just people I meet throughout the community, and just kind of say, hey, we have this opportunity. Who wants to help? And we get our best volunteers to go out there and teach people the game of pickleball, and then you kind of take it from there.
Part of our facility use agreement, and I'm curious if the schools made you do this or not. Your captains that are going to be going in the schools, have they submitted a background check?
Oh, well, we were just texting today, so it's not. We haven't gotten that far yet.
I got you.
But yeah, I'm sure maybe
for our perspective, when they're coming in the park working with kids or adults or anybody like that, we'll need the captain's name submitted and we'll pay for the background check.
Yeah.
But that's part of our facility use agreement.
No, yeah, I'm totally on board with that. You guys
Yep.
just tell me the guidelines and structure and we'll get it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I think would be helpful too. I think about branding. So I do a lot of marketing stuff. These names, all the names have like funny things. Like my only caveat to this, or I would say a concern, is you're about to come up here and yours is called Paddle Wars and yours is Dinkville, and then we're the Hendersonville Parks Department, we're the city of Hendersonville. If I'm a normal citizen, that's like overload.
Right.
From a branding perspective, what am I really signing up for and what am I? So they instruct for you, but then you don't run the league.
Yeah.
I know you're two different companies essentially, but my point is there's going to be 14 other Dinkvilles and Paddle Wars that come up here and try to do stuff. I don't know.
Yeah, basically what
You're all going to be fighting for the same space.
No, yeah. And like, yeah, I don't want to run, leagues or anything like that. Like, I just want to, people that want to do that, they definitely can. I just want to connect the communities and connect people to start growing and get them started to play pickleball. And, then we start throwing tournaments. I'm pulling, because we got 6,000 people in Dinkville. So, like, we're not tied down to a facility or location. We just want to connect people to play pickleball. So, like, if my group in Hendersonville is all traveling for a baseball tournament in Kentucky, I can see there's a group in Nashville playing, so I can go down there and play. So it's like just trying to connect everyone. So same goes for Hendersonville. So if there's a group playing in Hendersonville, they're going to pull the people from Nashville and stuff like that. So we're just one big group trying to connect people to play. And then now that, I live in Gallatin, Hendersonville, so like I'm going to be pumping the Hendersonville courts really because that's my home and that's where, so.
I'm thinking about the nights where you're going to have your clinics going on and they're going to have their league going on. Because how many courts are you wanting?
No, we would coordinate with Landon as far as, when he's doing those.
Okay.
We know we can't do we won't be able to do ours.
Yeah.
So we would work.
That's what the proposal said.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like I said, like he says, we work with Landon to help instruct, his clinics that he puts on.
Yeah.
All right.
It's just all for the community. It's just a service to the community that is a blessing to every community, honestly.
Correct me if I'm wrong, we're going to be the only one that has lights.
Mundy Park in Mount Juliet has lights, and then P Park has
Okay,
lights.
okay.
But yeah, the lights are iffy over there, so you guys have probably had the best lights for sure.
One thing, board, you'll see when we bring our proposal is that when any group like this comes in, whether it be Paddle Wars, Dinkville, our intention, when you see our regulations next month, you'll probably see that at any given time, unless it's a tournament where everybody's got the whole thing rented out, 4 of the 6 courts are going to be for this program, but we're going to leave 2 open to anybody that wants to come to play. Now, that being said, who's to say somebody that's there for Dinkville is not going to slide over and play on one of the others, but that's our intention, is to have 4 for these people and 2 left for other folks. In meeting with the Paddle Wars people, we definitely will not schedule them at the same time as Dinkville would be there. We will have to schedule carefully and not overlap different things.
Yeah. The other thing that we're looking at doing for when programs are not going on for court rentals is restricting the amount of the length of time one individual can rent, so they're not hogging the court all night long. So we're about to roll out a new software system to the community in November, and we'll be able to set that up so you can't hog the court all night long and prevent others from being able to get usage.
Any more questions of the staff for this gentleman?
So I know for use agreements, the Parks Board can determine or can recommend a certain amount of time, right? We have multiple year agreements with some groups and others. Is there a recommendation on that length for this, given the sort of fluidity of pickleball and what we know now versus when it's built and other types of things? Would it be wise to have it just for 1 year and have a check-in period after that? Is there an opinion there?
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in this last redo of the regulations that the mayor and alderman approved, we did them for 3 years.
Okay. Do I hear a motion to approve?
1 to 3.
Sir?
Pick whatever you want. It doesn't.
That's what I'm asking.
I have no preference.
No, I understand. But given you're a part of all these conversations, as your team is, and you know, we have two great groups in front of us, and we want to be very respectful. Is there other groups, are there other things, is it wiser just to do it for a year? Not that I don't want a longer-term relationship, it's just, is it wiser then at that point, the board can kind of reevaluate? Or am I overthinking it?
It could be. I mean, that very point well taken. That's why y'all getting $100 a month now.
Can you hear me there? Yep. You said, if I understood correctly, are there other groups within your group that could petition to hold a tournament there? And it may not be you, but it may be people
Oh, for
from
sure.
his group. So is it gonna be something that people are fighting to get in here to get time there?
Yes, you are going to see a fight for people to play here every night. You're going to see a lot of groups want to do leagues. You're going to see a lot of groups want to do tournaments. It's going to be packed.
Tournaments for sure.
There's everybody thinks they can make money running a tournament.
Yeah.
To do it right, you can. If you don't do it right, you won't.
So I will say,
with that
yeah.
being said, then, is there something that we need to do to, I know you said that you were coming out with a program to make it better for people to sign up for that stuff. I mean, obviously you've thought about this, right? Both of y'all have thought about this?
What's your question?
If there's gonna be like,
Competition?
within your own ranks, yeah, to get the courts for tournaments.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I'm not too worried. I mean, if someone has, you know, leagues or tournaments, they're more than happy to come try to do their, whatever they want to do. But I will say with Dinkville, with our community and platform, you know, people recognize us, people know what we're about, they know, you know, what we've been doing the last 2 years. So like, even though there are, you know, 30, 40 tournaments kind of going on in a season, pretty much a couple every weekend, you know, a Dinkville tournament, you know, 5X's those tournaments just because of the community and they know what they're getting out of it. So, but no, one thing about me is I'm all about pro pickleball. So if someone sees an opportunity and wants to go about it, I'm all about it. I'll support them. But anything that I'm pushing or I want to do personally, you know, I just think of everyone in the community, and I just know what these courts are going to do to the public and what, you know, how many people are going to want to play. So that's where I'm about. And to your question about the time length or whatever, I'm all about learning as we go. You know, if it's packing out 2 nights a week and we regroup in the winter or the fall, and we're like, hey, this is going good, we need more days, you know, we can gather that. Or if it's like, hey, we don't need this and it's not going what we expected, we can pivot. I'm open to whatever you guys are. I'm just trying to provide you know, try to help structure what's coming to your guys' courts, because we have, you know, hundreds of thousands of people that live here, so we just want to make sure that we, you know, try to do the best we can to get people that want to play.
Yeah. So what I'm understanding is you're looking for 2 nights from 5 to 10, and
Yeah.
it's just going to be teaching the basics of pickleball to the city and to whoever wants to show up.
Yep.
4 courts out of the 6 will be occupied. I'm of the mindset of this. This is going to be brand new. This is going to be a huge thing for our community. I'm comfortable with at least 2 nights, but do it, and let's look at the information on how it's going until end of the year. Give you until December 31st,
Yep.
and then let's come back and then let's say, okay, hey, this is done really well. We've had a lot of support. We've had a lot of people come out. And then let's build upon that. Or it might be that you'd be like, hey, maybe not 2 nights, maybe 1 night, or we need more than 2 nights.
Yep.
But I think a trial basis would be, at least for me, preferred.
Yeah, I'm saying.
And that can be anybody, but it can correct me if I'm wrong, but or submit something else. But I just think as we get going in this, with y'all 2 coming in, we're going to have a lot going on in those courts. And I think that, you know, I love the fact that you're giving back and you're teaching people on how to do this sport. But I think 2 nights at that time period for the first couple of months until December, I think that's fantastic. That's mine.
And does that, approving those 2 nights, does that affect your proposal?
Yes and no.
Okay.
I mean, it won't, because that's, like I said,
Let me interrupt.
we're part of him.
Excuse me, sir, if you're gonna make something on his, you need to go over there.
Yeah, we can't hear.
Oh, sorry.
Because based on your
I
proposal.
mean, you're just adding to what he's.
Yeah, I'm adding to his, so it's not gonna
Not your
affect.
turn yet.
If you
Yeah.
could say your name and who you're
I'm
with.
Joey Kinsler with Paddle War, and this is my wife Jennifer with Paddle War. We're local league coordinators.
Okay, I'm calling on you to kind of be a help to him
Sure.
at this moment.
Sure. So with Dinkville, like I said, we're local captains for Dinkville, and so we help facilitate the clinics that he puts on. We help with his tournaments and things of that nature that he puts on, and it is truly all about community. So we would want to make sure that we're working directly with him to not have a scheduling conflict. So I know in our packet, you probably will see we ask for 2 hours and 7 days a week, pretty much. Our schedule is just really tentative right now, as far as, because we don't know exactly how many teams will be signed up, things of that nature. So we're kind of on the forefront of our organization as well.
All right,
So Paddle War is different than Dinkville. Paddle War is a nation.
Can you tell us your name, please, ma'am?
Jennifer Kinsler.
Thank you.
I'm Joey's wife. But Paddle War is a national thing. It's kind of following the USTA format. So there'll be leagues, local leagues that will continue on to sectionals, to regionals, and then to nationals. It's a new company, so this year we're just all getting started, and wherever we can, however many hours we can, however many courts we can, then we'll just limit it to that. So if Landon's asking for 2 nights, we'll take what's left.
Okay.
Or we'll coordinate with Landon. If he can't use a night, if you guys are okay with it, then we'll utilize that night as well. So, but Landon is truly the go-to, honestly, in this community, and in Nashville, everybody, Dinkville is the name to go to. And we all just kind of help Landon do his thing. I don't think there'll be a problem with tournaments. Everybody knows Landon has that handled, and he's
Very organized.
very organized, very well respected in the community. So he has a community backing for sure.
Okay, we'll get to your application in a
Okay. Yep,
second. but
sounds good.
Let's get this one finished. first.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, now, any more questions, comments?
My only comment before you all make a motion or vote, if we're gonna require him to sign the facility use agreement, and it requires 1 to 3 years, I don't know how we can do it till December. Their facility use agreements are from 1 to 3 years. I don't know how we can say this is just till December.
Okay. Do we have enough information on this now to bring a motion to the table?
I got a suggestion. So last month, we approved a new guidelines for different types of trainings, camps, that sort of thing. And it's based on seasonal permits. So you could, if you want to go this route, you could use that guidelines to do the fall permit, which is, it's a fee, since he's offering this as a free service, if y'all want to waive that fee. But I think it's $150 for the fee and that would cover the month of October, November, and December.
Okay.
So would it just be October, November, December, won't extend it to September, which is what is on the application, what he wants to start?
Well, I think a lot of that kind of will depend on when the courts actually open.
When it gets opened up,
Yeah.
I got you, okay,
So,
all right. Good point, Dallas, thank you.
What is the time frame for the courts right now? Are we thinking end of August, early September?
Correct.
And then after that, he's coming back. If it's successful and things are going well, comes back, it's a renewal, or at that point we do a use agreement?
We
potentially?
can. If that's what the board desires, that's what we can do. I
think that also allows for more continued communication, more collaboration with the Parks Department. It seems relatively fluid, but we welcome the partnership, and
Yep.
it sounds like this is a great opportunity. Sounds like we have a kind of a tiger by the tail in terms of what we're building, and so we want to make sure we're doing it in a smart way that, yeah.
Yeah. And I can help with signage, racks, all that stuff to kind of make sure the flow is good. I don't know if we are going the reservation process, but yeah, we kind of see what works and doesn't work around, so we can definitely provide that feedback, and then you guys can apply it to where you guys need to.
Yeah, the idea with the use agreement is having multiple years is that we want longer-term partnerships with people. We want continued investment in those spaces and providing more years for these organizations to know, hey, look, we have a good standing with the city for multiple years. They feel better about being able to contribute to capital projects and other type of things as we build out our facilities.
Okay. All right, I think it might need a little bit more studying on it.
Well, yeah, so we'll make a motion, seasonal permit. Do we have to set dates on it, or is that pretty standard for the fall?
I would say, yeah, I would just say for the fall,
Okay.
the fall permit.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve this program as is outlined on a seasonal permit, and the idea is that we can come back later in the fall to discuss a longer-term agreement.
Okay, we got a motion. Got a second from Mr. Bennett. More questions?
I'd like to amend, sorry, thank you for that. I'd like to amend that we also, in addition, that we waive that permit fee.
Second to that, Mr. Bennett. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you, sir. I
Thank
think
you.
it's worth it.
Thank you,
I
sir.
think it's worth it.
Thank you.
Thank you for all the back and forth. This is new for us. We're working through it, yeah.
He mentioned, Mr. Gilly mentioned about the people flooding in at parts and times. One of the biggest arguments I've seen in a long while was over in Mount Juliet at a pickleball court. And it was because there was people piling up behind the courts that felt like they needed to be there. So
Yeah.
just want to make sure that everybody has their turn. So
Oh, yeah.
you got it. Thank you, my friend. Paddle War Pickleball, Jennifer Kinsler. Now, you can yell at me if you want to. My wife always did, so that's all right. And I already know who you are, so that's fine.
Yeah.
All right,
All right.
so,
State your case.
well, we're Paddle War. It's a national company. I think I already went through this. They're doing league night to where you progress and make it to the national level. So they're following the USTA guidelines, and following their setup. So we asked for 5 or 7 nights, 2 hours a day, but if he's got 2 days, then we would just take what was left over.
Question.
Yes.
When y'all came to meet with me in the office, you had a whole proposed calendar that was 7 days a week.
Yes.
You had, but it was 1 block per day of time. But you had some mornings, you had afternoon blocks, you had various times. So this is different than the calendar that you showed me that you were looking at.
Well, it will be different if he's taking 2 nights. So we were asking for Monday through Friday, I believe it was 5 to 7, and then Saturday and Sunday morning.
You had some times that were like 3 in the afternoon.
Sunday was, yes,
had
Sunday
different
was
times,
in the
so-
afternoon. I thought I added that in there. I'm sorry if I didn't bring it.
So
So Sunday, I believe, was 3 to 5.
you have no, on this packet here, you have no weekday mornings or afternoons.
No weekday mornings, no.
Okay.
It was Monday through Friday, 5 to 7.
Mornings on the weekends.
5 to 7.
Yes. But I mean, we could go 5 to 9 if that works.
Well, you have 6 to 8 in here is what you have. So you're saying 5 to 7. And Saturdays, 10 to 12?
10 to 12,
Sundays, 3 to 5.
3 to 5.
Questions? Comments? Yes, sir.
I just wanted to clarify again, this is only gonna be for 4 courts, 2 courts left open while they're doing this, correct?
for the nights that you all would approve, or you could approve saying that they will work with the staff to identify the best nights for them that don't conflict with public play or with what you just approved.
Okay.
Mr. Golden?
Yeah, I'm saying I agree with that approach. Are we also thinking of that this could also be done on a fall permit basis?
I wouldn't say this would fall under that category.
No, this is a league.
What he's doing is clinics and trainings for the community free, and I would say that those guidelines fit that, but the guidelines that y'all approved last week does not cover athletic leagues, and I would consider this a sports athletic league.
Give you a minute to look it over.
These folks will be subject to the resident, non-resident fee. I mean, they're paying to play in this league. It's not an exorbitant amount that they're paying to play in it, but they definitely would be subject to this same type of stuff.
Set it up the same, the 1 to 3 years, or?
This is a new company. We're really not sure if it's gonna take off, so probably start with the season, and then if it works out, then,
Yeah, the season run, I don't know if it's you've seen in the packet, season runs the 1st of September to the 1st of November. So it's not an extremely long season. We're not exactly for sure what that brings next year, if it's going to be 2.5 to 3 months next year. But it's not going to be, because they have to have structure to take it to a national level. So there has to be plenty of time to allow that to grow and teams to step into those different categories. So on the local level, this is only going to be probably a 2.5 month league, and then, like I said, it'll step into your regionals and your sectionals, and then your.
but next year we may need to start maybe in August, depending on when they set the regionals, sectionals, and national dates, because they didn't set those this year because it's brand new. So we're just starting with the local leagues right now.
Can you go over real quick too? You went over this with me, I think, the different categories and ages that the divisions covered.
Yeah, so it's all going to be all ages, but in pickleball, there's called a duper score. So they're going to kind of go by that depending on where your level is. So if you're a 2-5 women's team, you'll play in the 2-5. If you're under the 3-0, you'll play in the 3-0 league, 4-0, and it goes all the way up to 5, which I don't think we'll have a league that we can field that many people. But then you'll have a mixed double league and you'll have a men's league in those same categories. Maybe 2-5 to 3-0, 3-0 to 3-5, and then 3-5 to 4-0.
And again, this is just going to be one facility of multiple that we're going to need in this community. So we're reaching out to Northville Church, Gallatin, the city of Gallatin, P Park. I mean, there's going to have to be multiple courts to make this league. This is just one that we're starting with to help, get this kicked off for us, because we're only going to be able to host so many teams, or each team has to have its own facilities. So one facility can really only hold probably 3 to 4 teams at its maximum, just due to time constraints and how long the league matches take to play. So there's going to be multiple. There's going to have to be multiple courts. This is not the only courts we're going to have to have agreements with. So this is just the first of hopefully many that we can get approved.
So if I'm a citizen, I want to play in a pickleball league, but I don't want to go on to regionals and do all this. Can I play in your league?
Absolutely.
Or, okay.
Absolutely.
All right.
That's all optional. That is all optional. I mean, if you're based on the design of your team, because teams will have extras. So 6 will play at a time, but you'll have teams of 8 to 10, and so you'll have extras. So I mean, you can either stay out or play or what have you. So
and then if the whole team decides, hey, we made it, but we don't want to go, no, it's not mandatory that you go.
So do we have any facility use agreements with a for-profit company? They're all nonprofits. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay.
To the best of my knowledge, you're right here. I think that's correct.
Yeah.
To my knowledge, I don't know that we've had any for-profits want to run leagues that actually followed through with coming up here.
So I don't think our use agreement currently has, not to overthink it again, but like a change of control. Companies get, no offense, but companies get bought all the time. And so, you know, what happens if you have a use agreement and then they're controlled by somebody else? And whereas nonprofits, that's less of an issue. I don't know if that was a question, but more of just a statement of a thing, a concern.
Does anybody feel comfortable enough to bring a motion to the table, or do we need more time?
It's something too, I mean, I'll add to it, you know, your use agreements are 1 to 3 years. We could do it for 1 year, because our season, like I said, is only gonna be 2 months. It's gonna be from September 9th, if I'm correct, to November 4th. So, I mean, it's, you know, we could do a 1 to 3, because our next league next year will probably not start until August, so we could reevaluate and come back up here at that time if that's something that we need to do.
I'll wait another minute or so.
Well, I think we should at least vote on it. So I will make a motion to approve on a 1 year use agreement. That gives us time to evaluate. It's only for the fall. With the caveat, I don't know if this needs to be stated in the motion, but the caveat that you're working with the Parks Board or Parks Department to find the most appropriate times. And this is not that just what's in your proposal itself isn't being approved, but what's being approved is working with these guys to find the right time.
And we're very flexible with that as well.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Because I want to support growth in this deal. That there are some questions that I have in terms of, again, we've never had an agreement with a for-profit, which is not in and of itself a good thing or a bad thing. It just, organizations are just different. So a use agreement does require background checks. It requires certain health things. If you're working with youth, there's certain requirements. It requires transparent bookkeeping. So I don't know I don't know a paddle board structure. I can't imagine, you know, massive company will want to open their books to the city of Hendersonville. But there's some questions that I have, but certainly at least want to see if we can get a vote going and see how the board feels. I'll make a motion to at least get a vote.
Okay, I've got a first and I get a second. Mr. Pike, was that Mr. Pike?
Yeah, I'll say.
Mr. Pike, any more discussion? All in favor?
Can I restate the motion, just make sure? I want to restate, if that's okay.
Say again?
I just want to restate the motion, make sure everybody's, so you're making a motion to approve the Paddle War League with a 1-year facility use agreement and making sure that they work with the park staff on dates and times, not the dates and times that are in the proposal.
Right, to find the best times,
Okay.
yes.
All right, got a motion. And a
Is that okay
second.
with you all?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
We would work with you directly, I guess.
for now.
Okay.
Till I can delegate it quickly.
That's
Any more
encouraging.
discussion? Got a first and a second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? I'm old, and you know, I'm real big on this probation type thing, mainly because, show you how old I am, I used to go drive-in theaters. And quite frankly, here in Hendersonville, I remember when they built the Galton drive-in. Now, that puts me being way old. But I also remember when they opened the thing, they put one way in and one way out. And if they paid something dumb, they got in there, you know, but if they paid somebody good, the traffic would back out onto Galton Road. So this is a big move. So that's why I was for the probation thing anyway. See how it goes. Yeah. I hope it goes well. I hope it does. Hope it does. All right, thank you.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Good luck. All right, Rock Castle Folk and Bluegrass Fest. Is that all right? Mr. Gilbert? Yes, sir. Sing something for us.
Nobody wants that. I'm here to request the use of Sanders Ferry Park as a contingency plan only for our August 10th Songwriter Night and our September 14th Folk and Bluegrass Fest. Rock Castle is undergoing construction right now, and some new things have happened that weren't scheduled to occur until after September 14th. A section of our drive in the property is being removed tomorrow, and there's some silt fencing that's been put in that's created barriers to certain parts of the property. And I've already spoken with the contractor, David Boger, and he's given me some permission to temporarily lay some of the barriers down so that we can get staging and things in there. So I believe that the August 10th Songwriter Night is going to go off as planned at Rock Castle. But because I don't know what's going to happen between now and September 14th, I felt it was best to go ahead and lay some contingency plans out there and hopefully get approved to use the space at Sanders Ferry Park where the city hosts similar events. And the map we just provided you up on the screen there.
Just so you can see, I did not block off in the past with a lot of these events, we'd block off the parking lot, but there is a family reunion there that day. So I didn't want to, I mean, it's not like a wedding. If it was a wedding, it'd be a little bit different, but Shelter Aid is booked that day. I've discussed that with Sam. I mean, it shouldn't really, just the parking lot won't be closed off. That's about the only difference.
If this is, we will also need to do, looks like it's pending beer board August meeting. We'll have to have in the motion.
So I already have beer board approval for moving to Sanders Ferry Park, but they just need this map, but it's already been approved.
And this map has been approved by the beer board and you guys for 2 of our other events. Once we figured out this map and how to block it off, this is our legal way of doing it.
Should he need to use the September 14th date and we go to Heritage Park or back here, we would again ask you to bless that site map for September 14th at our August meeting. But you're being asked tonight to approve 2 events in the park and 1 site map to approve to include alcohol sales. That is before you. And I apologize for not getting this to you earlier. The map, at least, Wade was out of town all week, and I made him do this first thing this morning when he came back. So I appreciate him doing that and working with Sam. Sam does a great job, man. The city financially does contribute to Rock Castle, but the events and the things that he provides that we can't is immeasurable. And the grant that he's got from the state, spending $7 or $8 million to rehabilitate this property, is going to be a crown jewel of our city. So anything we can do to help him, always, we will do it. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
I'd make a motion to approve.
We've got Mr. Golden first, Mr. Montoya second. Any more discussion? All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? You got it. I still want you to sing something for me.
Maybe next time. Thank you.
Thank you, friend. All right, for your information, if there's any questions, we'll ask them now. If not, we'll move on to the staff reports. Recreation, Ms. Hamlin.
Thank you. Our Kids Club Summer Program just finished up on Friday. I want to give a big shout out to Mr. Mann at Witten Elementary for hosting us again this year. We had 34 campers that attended. They went swimming weekly. We had our own 4th of July cookout. We had craft days, movie days, ice cream days. We took a trip to Strike and Spare. We had a wacky Olympic day. We met at Mary's Magical Playground on some of the Wednesday mornings, just to name a few of the activities. Had good workers this year. They did great. Didn't fill all the positions, but next year hopefully we'll be able to fill all the positions. Coming up next will be the preschool track meet. That is tentatively, we're looking at either October 13th or October 6th. I want to discuss it with the Parks because on October 13th, the Titans play the Colts at home and UT plays Florida at home. So that encompasses a lot of people having other plans. October 6th is a bye for the Titans and UT's away. And then October 6th through 13th is also fall break. So I try to look at all that before I plan this. I could do it any of those dates and not worry about how many people sign up, and that's fine with me, but I like to be able to offer it to as many people that can participate, that wants to participate. Trick or treat at Drakes Creek, I don't have that date, but I just want to let everybody know that there are special hours for the special needs groups to come in. They'll start a little bit earlier than everybody else does. They'll open the gates for them. And then Breakfast with Santa is tentatively scheduled for Saturday, December 7th at Witten Elementary. Any questions? All right, thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Hanley. And thank you again for all you do. Anybody want to be Mr. Fugate today?
I'll handle that. Summer baseball just wrapped up their season yesterday. And then tomorrow night, he'll kick off his fall baseball coaches meeting, and they'll begin practicing this week. This weekend. He has a total of 27 teams this year in the fall league. Adult kickball registration has closed, and we've got 5 teams in the fall league, and they'll begin playing in August. And adult softball, they also had their registration closed. They have 8 teams, and they'll also be starting in August. And then be on the lookout, he will be offering a adult pickleball league. Signups will begin in the middle of August with plans to start in September. And then early September, he'll be starting his basketball registrations for high school and adult winter leagues. That's it.
Question? Thank you. Stand in. Special events, Mr. Evans?
Yeah, just a couple of things we've had over the last couple of weeks, if anybody's been down to any of the parks to see. But Freedom Fest, first of all, it was hot. It went really well. We do have shirts for you guys. I've got them right over here. So after we're done, stand up, Miss Cindy. You know, we did get you guys one of our American flag shirts. Thank you, Southern Promotions. I do have those for you over here. No, I mean, really, just to preference this, essentially 5 straight weeks of tournaments between GMB, USSSA, Tennessee Fast Pitch, USSSA, and then GMB is back this weekend. So on top of that, we had the Wish Cup in June, and missing one other tournament. Oh, Lax America, although it rained for that one. But just a busy summer. Touch a Truck is Monday. This next week from today is Touch a Truck. Just got a helicopter confirmed today, so we're going to have a helicopter land and leave while the kids are there, so that'd be cool. Right now, it'd be about 35 to 40 different vehicles on site. So from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., so it hits the different areas. If you have a nap time at 11 or noon, you can still come and bring your kids. So, but this is definitely geared more towards the little kids. So weather looks good, too. Pigfest. The concert announcement will go out later this week, so be on the lookout for that. We do have a major sponsor. If you guys didn't see, Dude Wipes is our title sponsor. And then Shell Brothers, I have a verbal commitment for them to be our Ferris wheel sponsor. So, yeah, right, very cool. As far as Pigfest goes, like I said, we'll have the concert up later this week. My Power Wheels Grand Prix will be November 10th. It's on a Sunday. Titans play away that day, so, not a big deal. And then Trick or Treat is on the 29th, Tuesday the 29th. I didn't want to do Wednesday the 30th because I feel like a lot of churches will probably try to have stuff since it's the day before Halloween and we don't want to do Halloween. So, 29th. That's all I've got. It's been crazy down there. It's been really fun. We've Andy has allowed us, we've built up, it sounds funny when we say this, but like an intern program. We have currently 6 high school and college students working for us. And I'm glad we've added that. I think it's added a lot of life to our office and at our events. They're doing everything now. From my perspective that's our way of giving back to the next generation, because I know one of them, he's going back to UTC in the fall, and he has an internship with the UTC football team. So I hope that we're giving them these experiences so that they get set up for hopefully going to a career path working in recreation and sports. So I think it's really cool. I just want it on record that I think it's really cool that we do that. The student body president from Beach came and asked me if he could start working for us. So it'd be kind of cool too. So we're growing.
Questions? Maintenance, Mr. Cole?
We're kind of
trying to play catch up now. Went around all morning this morning just to kind of see what all we had broken down from the past 3 weeks. Happy to report it really wasn't a lot. Was very surprised at it, but so we're just trying to button some things up now over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, get back to normal. Over the next few weeks, we got approved from insurance to get all new sand in the volleyball courts from the floods. So we're gonna be working to take all that out and get all that replaced, along with the playgrounds over there. They need some work, and they've needed it for a while. So I'm happy that we're able to finally get over there and do that. And then Sanders Ferry playgrounds, we plan on redoing those, putting fresh mulch in and everything. So met with a fence company today for the flood repairs. We have a lot of fence work that's about to happen, so be looking for that. We're trying to get it upgraded and looking better throughout the parks, so that'll be a nice upgrade there. And then sod repairs, everything that we did back at soccer, it looks fantastic. The best that those fields have looked in a long, long time. So very, very happy with that. And then the maintenance guys, they killed it these last 3 weeks. So if you see them, just give them a pat on the back, because they did a great job. Probably the smoothest that those tournaments have ever ran. We had very minimal issues. So that and the rain held off. So that was nice. So that's all I've got.
Questions? Thank you, Mr. Cole. Assistant Director, Mr. Long.
Thank you. Tackle football practice has been ongoing for the past few weeks. They'll start up their season in August. Tennessee United's summer programming wraps up this week. They've had free community play, popsicle nights, some trainings. So they wrap up, and they'll have their team camp next week over in Moss Wright. And then the week of August 5th, we'll start all of soccer. Rec soccer, middle school, and Tennessee United will all begin practicing the week of August 5th. So starting later this week and into next week, Trevor's guys will begin transforming those fields, getting them ready for the season, getting goals back on fields, painting, that sort of thing. And then flag football, they're currently taking registration right now, and they'll begin practicing mid-August with a September start date for their season. And then same plan for rugby. They'll begin practicing in middle of August as well. And that's it.
Questions? Thank you, Mr. Long. Assistant Director, Mr. Bruce.
Thank you, Mr. Hessen. First of all, the senior men took a couple weeks off with all these big softball tournaments, and they start back up this week. We're supposed to play tonight, got rained out. I believe Bubba is supposed to be on the lineup for tomorrow night. He's been taking some, evidently, rumor has it, he's been taking some extra BP these last 2 weeks, trying to stay sharp. Hockey evals are this weekend for the fall season, getting those guys ready. Civitan baseball from the tournaments, the Cal Ripken, we have one 11 under team, Scott Wiggins' team, is going to a national tournament in August, so he's still practicing a little bit, and we'll be heading down, I think it's down south for their nationals. The Civitan Fall League baseball is probably later in August. Start practicing a little bit, and then they usually play Wednesday nights, just games on Wednesday for 4, 5, 6 weeks. The Rhythm baseball is about to wrap up at the end of July. They're in position to possibly make the playoffs. The next 10 days will be very important for that, if they make the playoffs or not, to see if they will get a home game or not, or get in the playoffs. But right now, the end of July, they'll be finished. And then really the first week of August, the full count Fall League will start practicing, and then they start games the second week of August. Real good program. They go August and September and try to get done by fall break. The Fast Pitch League, local league, working with Anthony on sign-up dates for that, and also working with the Nashville Ignite on some stuff over the hockey rinks. Thank you, sir.
Questions? Thank you, Mr. Bruce. Director, Mr. Gilly.
Thank you, sir. Pickleball is on schedule to be completed by the end of August at this point. As you can tell, it's going to be popular, and it's going to be new to a lot of us, and there's going to be things thrown at us that we're going to have to figure out how to deal with, just like everything else in our whole city probably. You know, I was just sitting there thinking, 5 years ago, we didn't have pickleball, we didn't have rugby, we didn't really have much lacrosse, we didn't have much flag football, we didn't have concerts in the park, we didn't have barbecue festivals, we didn't have hardly anything, and we've been on steroids for 5 years. These people over here, Miss Hamlin sitting out there, the folks in the office, the people at the park, the maintenance guys have handled it with much grace and class and hard work and dedication. It's been amazing. What Wade said is absolutely true. Seeing these young interns work has been phenomenal. Credit to him. He had a previously scheduled vacation last week during that huge tournament we had going on. He had everything laid out for me and the interns that we handled, from food trucks to opening ceremonies. Everything worked well together, and I appreciate everything that all these guys and girls do on a daily basis. To give you an idea, I think I emailed this out. I can't remember if I emailed it to the Parks Board or just to the Board of Mayor and Aldermen, but through the LPR cameras that the police have, we know that from a 30-day period there, from June to late last week, there was 113,000 vehicles that went into Drakes Creek, Veterans, and Memorial Park. Now, some of them might be duplicate. You know, you drive in one entrance, you go out the next, but I'm going to say that not a lot of them were duplicates. Crazy. That's the 113,000 license plates going in and out of the park in 30 days. We are still working on FEMA repairs with tornado and flood. We have several meetings coming up with FEMA talking about flood coverages. Trevor referenced the sand from volleyball. That's something we're just doing, and then hopefully FEMA will pay us back for it. Needs to be done. If you drive by there, it's so low. We want people to enjoy those courts when they can. The maintenance shop, we met last week with the design team and Public Works, and Trevor had some great input. Some of the maintenance staff had some great input. Basically, from this point, they're going to come back to us and give us a couple of shots at some drawings to see how we're going to move forward with that, but we are moving forward with relocating our maintenance shop. That's going to be a great improvement. Lights at the second rugby field are operational. Obviously, we had approved an NFL flag football tournament tonight, so that complex is up and running. Pretty amazing we've been able to get that whole thing done in the last couple of years. And then Dallas and I had a call this past week with Lacrosse America. We were prepared for them to say, because we had to rain out basically over half their tournament, we were prepared for them to say we're going to go somewhere else, but they said they were thrilled with everything and they'd be back next year. So that's a boost for the community. Other than that, that is all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gilly. Round table, what you got on your mind down there, Mrs. Montoya?
Happy to be here.
Mr. Pike?
Yes, I'm going to say something.
I know you are.
Couple of things. Just, I know we say it all the time, but as a Parks Board member, a citizen of this community, the last 30 days, I know has been, to pull that off, I want to commend the staff, the maintenance staff. I also want to commend, in the last 5 years, the Board of Mayor Aldermen, to see the vision that Andy and Dave Lamar before him and Andy have had, where this was going and the staff has had, and to be able to pull together what we pulled together in 5 years to grow. Andy is right. It's like we're on steroids. It's a great thing for this city, and it's bringing a lot of tax dollars into this city. So just commend everybody for especially what we did the last 30 days. That's a big feat for 5 tournaments of that size to come through here and that many people in here. So
I'd say the same thing about all of them except Mr. Bruce, and I think he owes me money. All right. Mr. Perry? Mr. Golden?
I owe you money too.
I know you do. Ms. Hellman? Mr. Bennett?
No.
No, okay. Yes, sir, Mr. Peterson.
Always, Mr. Chairman, thank you for your guidance on this board.
Thank you.
And I echo those comments. The staff is phenomenal. Board, thank you for careful consideration with all of these people that come before this board. You think of it, you know, we look at the economic impact from these tournaments that we've just had, which are phenomenal, but you're also considering making sure pickleball courts are open to the residents. You're always cognizant of the families that live here, that the parks are available at all time. I appreciate y'all doing that so much. Y'all are definitely earning your $100 a month. But thank you for always thinking of the residents. Not only Rock Castle brings in 40,000 people a year. These are huge events in our parks, and we're excited to have so many opportunities and events for our residents, as well as welcoming people. I went to the softball tournament Thursday night at Drakes Creek, and I was impressed. Incredible teams from all over the country. All the fields were full. The grounds were beautiful. There was families. The weather was perfect. The fields looked great. Everything was clean. Thank y'all so much for everything you do. It doesn't go unnoticed. We see it, and we really appreciate it. And thanks for bringing up Dave Lamar. He blazed a trail. He did a phenomenal job. Andy, thank you for picking up the torch and taking it. These past 5 years have been phenomenal of what y'all are doing. And I appreciate it. I'm so proud of this board and everything y'all do. I could go on, but anyway, just hats off and thank y'all for everything.
Mr. Bruce, I take it back. I now know that I owe you money instead of you owing me money.
Wait, I have one more thing.
Yes,
Wade,
sir.
I hope the Wienermobile's going to be here.
Man, I know. So sadly, they are not. Them and the Nutmobile from Planners.
Oh, no.
They're both out west right now.
Okay, but hey, a helicopter, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Well,
Thank
we
you.
went a little bit of a different route. We really tried to engage our local companies. So I went to, myself and one of our interns went to every construction, excavator, John Deere company I could find in about a 20-mile radius, and we've just asked for if anybody wants to bring anything. So I do know we will have a either a rally car or a race car from the Speedway. So we'll have that. So yeah.
Mr. Chairman, I got one more thing.
Yes, sir.
There is the facilities naming committee potentially in August is going to review a request that, is it okay if I say this? That Mr. Peterson kind of spearheaded to look at naming some portion or maybe even all, who knows, of the new Greenway after our good friend Pat Campbell. Pat was a Parks Board liaison when he was an alderman. He was a volunteer in the parks for many, many years. He was a warrior for the Walton Ferry Peninsula. And he was Capital Projects chairman and kind of kept that project for the new Sanders Ferry Greenway on the front burner. So if you have thought, if you want to send a note to me of how you feel about that, you're more than welcome to. The facility naming committee will take it up, and then it'll go to BOMA. It really doesn't come here. But I did want you all to know about that in case you saw it coming forward.
Indeed.
All right.
Indeed.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Let's see. Mr. Bennett made a motion to adjourn. Ms. Hellman made a second. Anybody opposed to that? All in favor say aye. All opposed? We're out of here.